morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading session. We'll get the screen share going on. I'm going to warn you, I may have some technical difficulty with my mic, so if I sound like or if you stop hearing me, if it seems like I've fallen off the edge of the world, my mic is cutting out, so I may have to fiddle with that for a little bit, but hopefully it will get me by for the morning session here. All right, so it looks like we're opening with yet another gap higher. Yesterday's trading pretty congested, really. A very, very neutral day. So you can see still the rather large opening gap from Friday to Monday, and a smaller opening gap here now from Monday to Tuesday. And just a quick review for those of you new in the trading room. I see a couple of new names here. Welcome. This is your trading room, so please don't be shy about asking questions, or if there's a market you would like me to see. If you don't understand what's going on, please ask. I'll do my best to smooth things out for you to answer your questions. What you're looking at is the DTS system along with the Raptor. The Raptor, of course, here in the bottom right corner. The Hawk Scalper in the top left, Falcon Swing Trader top right, Eagle Trend Trader bottom left. So that's how I have my charts laid out. We've had a couple of, I'm going to say, tough days of trading. I've had a couple of emails from people saying, what's going on? I'm not making any money. Well, I know, the last couple of days, even the last week, trading has been difficult. I won't lie to you. The stock market just keeps pressing higher when it's looking very top heavy. You can see even now the the Hawk producing a macro pullback signal. Here comes the Falcon now with a late filter entry signal. What time is it? Oh gosh, we're only 3 minutes into the session. Do I want to bite on this one already? All right, here we go. It's this huge gap that I'm concerned about. Get down here a little bit. Give me a good second push entry opportunity. All right, so with the second push entry, all that means is once the signal prints, we look for the market to retreat from the signal. That tells us the limit, or helps show us the limit of the buyers, and gives us the place where we can look to try to enter now, if in fact the buyers are going to continue to press higher. A lot of times early on, single contract, I'll try to run the market out, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. I think I'll just, if I get profit on target, I think I'll be happy with that. committing just yet, and that's okay. Filled up another trading journal. All right, it looks like the late filter entry, see we're getting another one here. Filter is going out of sync. It has to come back into sync in order for the signal to be valid. And that's not happening at the moment. Thank you, Keith. Keith reminding me new home sales and consumer confidence reports out at the top of the hour. All right, we're just waiting them out here until we get a better indication. Turning to the Raptor here for a moment. We may well be looking at a test of the extreme, in which case we might see a counter trend signal. Our number 2 soft edge sell signal print. And this may even turn out to be a double pullback signal. Normally the double pullback signal is a little bit deeper. Doesn't usually ride the soft edge as much as this one does. So we're getting another late filter entry signal printing, and it should print right there. Okay, don't stop now. So once again, the late filter entry, the key components are the filter goes out of sync, comes back into sync. The trend line never changes color. You do have a similar signal here on the Raptor. We refer to this as a double pullback. And like I say, the pullbacks tend to be a little bit deeper. This is a little risky to be sure, because we haven't taken out the highs yet. But a double pullback, you get a pullback and then the market comes out, produces a signal, you get another pullback, and it comes out, produces a second signal. That's the double pullback. That's a excellent suggestion here. Mr. Buckaloo mentions that when he's conflicted, he says, I often look for signals to fail and have achieved very good results, but it's a bit counterintuitive. It's all our high probability signals, the failure thereof, you could do the reverse. So by that I mean, here's a macro pullback signal. We know it's a high probability signal for the hawk scalper. If you were not inclined to buy it, you could short the failure. That is an acceptable trade. The only one I normally do that to is the red bar buy in an uptrend and the green bar sell in a downtrend. But you can do it to all of them. The reason we don't is it's usually more profitable to stay with the trend side. For instance, here is a first micro macro cross signal on your hawk. You could short that. You could set up to short the first micro macro cross. The reason we don't is that normally the first micro macro cross is a high probability signal and it has some decent follow through to it. Well, at least enough to find our high probability target. So it is a good suggestion though. You know, if the market looks like it's waffling and you can't quite make up your mind, yeah, go ahead, set up to reverse on the signal. That is an acceptable play. I don't point it out very often because at least when you're starting, I think you should stay with the signal as much as possible as opposed to finding counter trend signals. Tony says we may have a 4-arrow consolidation here in the hawk, and you are correct. It's a little bit drawn out, and it's a little bit more sideways, but there it is. There's 1, 2, 3. This could be signal number 4. Holding up a little bit here now on the overnight high. Oops. So there's the overnight high, and it came in at 55.28.5. And currently we are 55.28, so essentially the same number. Looking to see the buyers hopefully push through there. If not, I think I'm going to get a little bit quicker with my stop. Maybe a good time to roll it in. Get ready for that. Come on, let's go. Don't make me get out the mouse. You just know there's going to be some orders up here, some orders to buy, as well as stop orders for those traders that tried to short here. So if we can see the market tick 55.28.5, 55.28.75, That should spark the market at least a bit. There's 28, 28 quarter, 28, 27 3 quarters, 28, 28. Come on, let's go. I feel like I'm calling a horse race. And they're coming around the old oak tree. Come on, there's 28 quarter. Stinkers. They keep getting up there and then trying to pull away from it. 28 quarter, they're just afraid to tick 28 half. Every time they get up there, there's half. There we go. There's 29. Okay, I'm going to engage my stops now. Well, I thought there would be a little bit of a stronger follow through off of that break. Normally, when we break a resistance level like this, we start to trap a few traders and the market advances rather quickly. Not right now, though. It's like we're trading in slow motion. Oh, great. Floyd says the YM broke out instead. Nuts. All right, well, we're just hovering below the break-even trigger here. I'm starting to get a little tired of watching this go back and forth, so I'm going to push the trade to break even. Now, I will warn you, I do have a tendency to tweak myself out of a perfectly good trade. So I may be a little bit quick with my stops. Crude oil tailing off a little, but still rather sideways. If you chose to be more aggressive on this trade, 55.35 would be a good profit target. That would be our next resistance zone. This is actually more like overnight trading than trading off the open. Here, we'll give you just a little tickle here. Push you up a little bit. Come on. I'm not sure where all the volume has gone, really. In fact, just for giggles, let's take a look at an intraday chart here with volume on it. Let's do a 5-minute. Yeah, no love. No love from the NASDAQ this morning. All right, so here is a 5-minute chart. Let's not do the 24 hours. No. Sorry, bear with me a second here. All right, let's just throw a basic volume on here. Today's volume, okay, so this is today's volume. You can see it's down from yesterday's opening volume. There's actually a fair amount of volume went through the market early yesterday, even though the market really did not go anywhere. Day before that, volume is light. Again, another sideways market. Let's get a few more days in here. Volume not bad, but fairly steady through the open. And then got another little boost off this rally here. So this is a more typical day for the NQ. This is what we usually see. We usually see a big volume out of the open. And here too. See, bigger volume for the first hour or so. That's typical for most markets. And today, just blah. That is a technical trading term, by the way, blah. So, did I get myself stopped out too early? Or was it the right call to take the break even? I have to wait it out for a few minutes. Give me a chance to tidy my office. There's nothing else going on. maybe Tony says maybe at the top of the hour the news will spark the market. They're waiting on something. Obviously, they feel no reason to move higher or lower off where they are, in spite of a couple substantial gaps. Yes, Aspen. Clean mind, clean desk, and all that. It does need a bit of a purge, I have to say. I do have papers strewn across it, but there is a logic to it. You can see the Geiger counter loading up here a little bit to the short side, or it was. Yes. Thanks, Aspen. Aspen reminding us new home sales and consumer confidence at the top of the hour. You know, you got to be careful with reports. I know the markets tend to move off reports, especially FOMC reports. And if you follow the grains, the WASDE, the World Agricultural Supply Demand estimates. But those are really the only two biggies. Well, if you're trading coffee, of course, you got the harvests, the Brazilian harvest and the North American. You got the coffee harvest that you're watching. But as a rule, the market does what the market does. And the news always is tailored to fit what the market does. I've mentioned it before. News reporters tend to see the world through the lens of news, right? If you're a reporter, news is what drives the world, whether you believe that statement or not. And yet there are a lot of times the market will rally or the market will fall counter to what the news is doing, and it leaves everybody scratching their heads. So much so that it's actually one of those trading axioms that says the market will rally on bad news, on bearish news, and fall on bullish news. Because it's not the news that drives the market. Like I said, the market will do what the market will do. And the news will be tailored to fit what the market does. They won't ever come out and say, new home sales were up, the NASDAQ plummeted 20 points, because it doesn't make sense. And yet to fill the gap, that's hovering here. The NASDAQ should come down a good 10, 15, 20 points. Now really, what does the NASDAQ have to do with new home sales? The NASDAQ tends to be stocks like Netflix, Tesla, you can look them all up. There's not many construction companies listed in the NASDAQ. So what I've done here in an attempt to take advantage of the sideways market is I've set up a little bit of an OCO order. Now, this is not my favorite way to trade because, as I've pointed out in the past, if the market is sideways, you are normally better off allowing a breakout, a retest, and then look for the buy or sell. Breakout, retest, then look for your signal. That tends to be the better strategy. We're doing a lot of sitting and waiting. All right. Let's get a stop. Tony makes an interesting comment here when he says, well, the NASDAQ seems like it's certainly overbought, but that does not seem to bother the buyers. And that is so true. If you look at market rallies, it's amazing how often the market will rally when it's severely overbought. I should have kept my little chart out here. I will build you another. This is what makes trading with indicators a little dicey. If you're trading them, in that traditional overbought, oversold type scenario. So here's our little NASDAQ chart, and what's a good indicator? Let's use stochastics. That's kind of a go-to for a lot of traders. And we'll make this a little easier to see. That's a pretty ugly stochastic chart. Oh, one sec. Okay, well, yesterday's trading aside, oh, not a very good example. All right, here we actually had a rally. The rally started, stochastics, the fast stochastic became overbought right there. The slow stochastic became overbought on that bar. And for the entire rally, it remained overbought. And that you'll see that happen time and again. fact, I remember reading about one strategy. I forget which one it was. That was actually their signal. And again, I forget whether it was stochastics or RSI or Williams percent R. It doesn't really matter. The point was, as soon as it got overbought or oversold, that's when they bought, or that's when they sold. They did not. Traditionally, the signal occurs here when the stochastic comes out of the overbought or oversold territory. This would be a sell signal, and yet you can see it did not work out very well. Okay, I better start paying attention here to my trade because it looks like we may have actually caught a little momentum. Trade now at break even. I'm going to move into parabolic mode. In case we get past that 55.33 hurdle, pardon me, 35, which is our next resistance line. Nicely done, Mark. You're a better man than I. Mark says, I've been practicing my nerves of steel and stuck out that late filter entry trade on the Falcon. Just hit his profit target on 2 contracts, all in, all out. Well done, Mark. Yeah, I know. I pulled the plug a little early. I do better sometimes when I just leave it alone. Oh well. Hey, way to go, Floyd. Floyd knocking it out of the park here this morning. YM still going up, he says. Up $410 on 2 contracts so far. Way to go, Floyd. And Tony capitalizing on that first Eagle in sync signal. Yes, right you are, Tony. Why did I miss that? So there's the first Eagle signal of the day. Oops. Let's try that like so. And making tracks to its profit objective. One thing I've learned using the DTS system and the Raptor is that a lot of times you will look at a signal and it just doesn't look like the signal can work. There's, you're looking at it and it's like, how can it go any higher? Where's the momentum? And yet you're printing strong signals like the late filter entry. And of course, what ends up happening is the market will follow through on the signal. More often than not. And those times that you do get fooled, or you don't get fooled, the Raptor or the DTS system gets fooled. On those times, that's when we want to make sure that we have covered our backside by not risking too much. And again, I'm a chicken, so I'm going to start running a tighter stop here. Even though I'm probably going to stop myself out early again. Old habits. Excuse me. All right, get going. Come on, just one more bump. They're thinking about it. As you can see, I'm using the bar high low strategy, which is really a very aggressive stop strategy. It will take you out on the first sign of weakness. You can make it a more conservative strategy by dialing back how many bars back you are. But I'm just not keen on riding out a pullback, even though it looks like the market is having a more bullish kind of day. Oh, that might have been a pretty lucky little move here. I'll be truthful with you. I did not expect to ride out that little swing. All right, I may have to give this one a little bit more elbow room. Here we'll go now into a parabolic mode. Come on. Where's Ray Burke when I need him? I need him to push. Hey, way to go, Tony. Tony says he capitalized on the first eagle signal and the hawk signal. Nicely done, Tony. This may well be the move of the day, folks. Look at us, how excited we get over a little 10-point move. A 10-point breakout in the NASDAQ. All right, well, the parabolic's holding us just below this last little swing. Well, this is likely going to be the retest of the breakout. Remember how I was saying when you have a sideways range, the market breaks out, retests, and then looks for that signal? Well, that could be what we're looking at here. All right, well, there we are. We're kind of in limbo again. Oh, and did I get tagged early again? Here comes the next little push up. We're back in sideways mode. Tony says we're ahead of yesterday's ATR. Ooh. Yes, the small victories. It does look like we may be confined maybe to another sideways push here. Well, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about making another push from here, but we are we got some serious sideways trading going on. Well, how long have we been watching this last bar? And it's making me feel a little better because it's trying to dip a little lower, but we've been on this bar for just about 15 minutes now. Well, this is the trading equivalent of watching paint dry, folks. Yeah, like Mark says, it's like yesterday now, a real test of patience. The problem is it may well develop into another day like yesterday where all we're going to see is more sideways trading. You can see trade forecasters saying we're in scalp mode for about another half hour, after which we're going to move into swing mode. So that doesn't look like things are going to loosen up any. Yeah, I don't know. Tony says maybe this four-arrow consolidation will push the market up. The lack of momentum, I've always said the one advantage to day trading versus trading end of day is you get a better feel for market momentum when you're day trading because you see how quickly the bars unfold. If you're just looking at a static end of day chart, sometimes it's difficult to get a feel for, is the market more bullish, more bearish? Like, you could be right. It is definitely building into a four-arrow consolidation, and maybe that will spark the next push higher. Oh, see, here we go. Or trying to go. I don't think I remember when I've seen such tiny ranges, though. Yeah, like Tom says, definitely a lack of momentum. Well, we'll hang with it for another 10 minutes or so, but if it doesn't pick up by then, I think I might close up shop early. I don't see any opportunities here. I suppose you could do another bracket type trade. We do have a little bit of a sideways channel here. You could bracket it higher and lower. Yeah, like Mark says, as soon as I close up the room, the market will jump. They're just waiting for me to leave. Stinkers. right, well, they're still consolidating here. I think we're going to call it a day. There's really not much going on. I'm tempted to bracket the range and trade a breakout, but the market is just too quiet for me. It's just too neutral. It may loosen up in the afternoon, but I've had enough fun for one day. All right, let's try it all again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.